Over the years, we've had many great models from Herpa Wings when it comes to Antonov aircraft, such as, for example, the AN-124 or the legendary AN-225, but this time we look at the AN-22. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at an Antonov AN-22 of Antonov Airlines. At the front of the box we have the cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of the box we have the Antonov Airlines branding. Then on the back side of the box we have a lovely image of the aircraft in real life. We also provided with a web link from Herpa where we are supposed to get more information about the aircraft, but unfortunately this web link does not work anymore. And here she is, the Antonov 22 in the current livery of Antonov Airlines. The aircraft type was originally designed in the 1960s as a heavy military transport aircraft for the Soviet Union, designed by Antonov, and as far as I know, to date is still the largest turboprop aircraft in the world. But let us now take a closer look at the aircraft model itself and see what Herpa has managed to do with this model in scale 500. And we start off with the tail section, where we can see the aircraft has two vertical stabilizers. On those we find the Antonov Airlines branding. And overall the whole tail section is of course rather unique looking, at least from a Western point of view. And the AN-22, unlike its larger sisters, the AN-124 or 225, can't open its nose. So the only way to access the aircraft with large cargo items is through the rear. And we can see this access door very nicely indicated here by Herpa Wings, but we should mention that it is fixed, so you cannot open it. And then just to finish off the rear section of the aircraft, we should also quickly mention that we of course have the detail of the APU exhaust. If we then follow the yellow and blue cheat line to the front of the aircraft, we can see here we have on the fuselage the Antonov Airlines branding, the flag of Ukraine, the Antonov logo, the aircraft type specification, and underneath all of that we then also have the contact details of the airline. So if you ever wanted to rent such an aircraft, well, here you find both the phone number, the fax number if you still use that, the email address and the web address of the airline. The cockpit section itself is rather bare-boned, but still looks rather good, but that's of course mainly just because of its very unique shape and very unusual cockpit window configuration, at least from a Western point of view. We can also see this little bump or bubble or whatever you want to call it, which of course is a clear indication that this aircraft's original design wasn't intended for civilian use. But that's of course not the only unusual feature on this aircraft, because if you move on to the engines, as I mentioned, it's a turboprop aircraft. It has 4 turboprop engines with counter-rotating blades. And I think Herpa has done a really awesome job with those. And we also have this lovely feature that we can actually move all of these blades. And the feeling that Herpa really has done a great job with this aircraft model continues when we look at the wings. Here we can see the top side, where I think Herpa has, as I mentioned, done a decent job. The same goes for the underside of the wing. Here we then also find the full registration code of the aircraft. And then we can continue with the landing gear. Here we see the main landing gear underneath the wings. Also, of course, that looks rather unique from a Western point of view. But also here, I think Herpa has done a solid job with it. Also, the front landing gear looks great. And to top it all off, we even have the landing lights printed on here on the aircraft model, a detail that is rather rare with Herpa Wings Club models and extremely rare with models that aren't Herpa Wings Club models. So there we have it, the Antonov 22 in the current livery of Antonov Airlines, a truly unique aircraft, regardless if you look at it as the aircraft in real life or as the model from Herpa Wings. Now this model is one of those models that give me hope for Herpa Wings, because it's one of these models where you see that Herpa actually has bothered. They have clearly had a passion for this model and they've added a lot of lovely details. All the physical details they have made are really awesome. The print is great. If only they would do this all the time, then I would be much happier with them. But the burning question is, of course, is this an aircraft model that I would recommend for your collection? Well, ultimately, if you have no interest in Soviet-era aircraft, then this is definitely nothing for you. But if you're looking for a unique aircraft type that even is still in operation today, and an aircraft model where Herpa clearly has put some passion behind, then I would say absolutely this aircraft model is worth having in one's collection. Now, with that, we have reached the end of today's episode, which has been episode 399. We have been on an incredible journey from episode 1 till today, and your support has been absolutely fantastic, so a huge thanks for that. Obviously, next time will be episode 400, and for that I've found a special model to review, but I won't mention yet what it is, so just keep an eye out for that. It will be out very soon. So until then, thank you so much for watching today's episode. Don't forget to leave a like and of course hit subscribe if you're new around here. And with that, I'm checking out, and bye.